Hey everybody, how's it going? Chuck here, www.fixjeeps.com. Go check out my site. Alright, here's the deal. Out wheeling yesterday, me and some friends having a daggone good time, and I seriously misjudged a creek bed. I should have stayed way right. Instead, I went kind of middle to it. Hey, it looked like solid rock, and all of a sudden the bottom just fell out of it. Jeep sunk. Before it's all said and done, my axles were sitting on the bottom of the floor of all the sediment and crap, no traction, got pulled out by a big four-door. Hey Juan, if you see this video from me, I appreciate you pulling me out. So here's the story. We're going to change the fluid in the transfer case today, and it's going to be a series. I'm going to be doing the transfer case change, I'm going to do a front diff change on the fluids, and I'm going to do a rear diff change on the fluids. But today, it's all about the transfer case. So, let's just start bumping our gums. Let's get under the Jeep and get her done. Hey everybody, check it out. Come out here to change the transfer case fluid, and look, I got to hop around my Jeep. It's just as unconcerned as it can be. Good bird. It likes Jeeps. Sneak around here. See, there he is. It can care less if I'm fooling with it. Must be a little one fell out of its nest. I'm just going to leave it alone. Alrighty, here we are, under the Jeep. Alright, looking at an NP231 transfer case, 1991 Jeep Wrangler YJ. So, we're going to change the fluid in this transfer case. First thing we need to do, okay, this is where you drain the fluid. This is where you put fluid in. The fluid you need to use is the automatic transmission fluid. Yes, weirdly enough, some people may say, what? But yes, you're just going to use regular transmission fluid. So it can be Dextron or Mercon, either one. That's even per the manual for Chrysler. You can use Dextron or Mercon, either one. So to give you a close-up, okay, here's where the front output shaft goes out, speed sensor, and speedometer cable hooks here. Just give you a point of reference. Come down here, here, a little closer. This is where you're going to drain it. This is where you put the fluid in. And it takes, I think it's 30 millimeter. Let me look at this socket, make sure I'm telling you right. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it or not. 30 millimeter. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to put my pan underneath it right here. We're going to drain that fluid out. Be right back. Okay, you can see that it's getting pretty close to being done draining. You see the chain right up inside there that drives the front output shaft. So again, as you can see, that's where you drain the fluid out. The Chrysler's on crack for AMC or whoever built the transfer case. Because look at the level of this and your oil running out. So if you were to really think about it, you have about this much fluid left in the bottom of it. So apparently you're not going to drain all of it out. But that's okay. As long as you put fresh fluids into it, you're good. So I'm going to finish letting this drain out. Then what we'll do, we'll take a rag, we'll wipe all this right here up, make sure it's good and clean. And put your drain plug back on. Alright, we got the drain plug back in. Wipe the seat. There's a washer on this drain plug. Wipe it off real good, make sure there's no debris or anything on it. Wipe off the seat of the transfer case where the washer goes up to the transfer case. Wipe it off good and tighten it up. As soon as it makes contact, give it a couple little bumps to the ratchet just to snug it up. You don't want it too tight. Now we're going to put fluid back in it. Got the 30 millimeter socket set up, and they can be a little bit snug. So what you want to do is, you hold the ratchet head with one hand to make sure it doesn't come off. Take your palm, smack the top of the ratchet down, and when you pop it just a little bit, it'll break it loose. Other than just grabbing hold of manhandling and just jerking and pulling and stuff like that. You just take your palm, keep bumping the top of it, it'll break it right loose a lot easier. A lot less chance of busting knuckles. So enough of the rattling. Let's get this thing off there. Alright, we got the fill plug out, and you see, here's the fill plug. And I mentioned the washer on this right here. You got to wipe off the seat. Since I got this one off, I wanted to show you real quick. See, there's your washer. You see how it turns. Make sure. Just take your rag, wipe that seat off right there. Make sure it's good and dry and clean. And make sure everything's here nice and clean, because you don't put no debris back in the transfer case. And I'm going to set this over here for the moment. And what we're going to do, we're going to take the fluid, pour it in there. So let me get this positioned here in just a moment, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's put fluid back in the transfer case. Okay, I'm using the Dextron here, fully synthetic. And why fully synthetic? Because it doesn't break down as fast. So if you see that little end right there, I occasionally use that Lucas oil additives, and those little tops right there come on them all the time, or even the gear grease like you put in your rear differentials, whatever, that comes with those little tops. Save them, they're a lifesaver. Because these oil bottles, you know, transmission fluid or oil bottles, whatever, don't come with them, but you can always reuse them, save them. Alright, so we're going to come right up here, stick it in there, and tilt it up. And just squeeze it like right there to get all the fluid in. You squeeze a little bit and you'll turn loose the bottle. Instead of squeezing down, turn loose of it, you can hear the bubbles come back into it. So you're pumping the fluid into the transfer case doing this. So basically you just keep adding fluid in until it runs out that hole right there. I'll be right back. Okay, see how it's running out? Now when you first put the first bottle in, it may trickle out a little bit because you ain't got it sitting on there right or whatever, not a big deal. But when you start adding the second quart, it only takes about a quart and a half, quart and 3/4, something like that. Not a full 2 quarts. When you see how it's running out solid, that's when you know you've got a full transfer case. So at this point, I'm going to wipe that seat off again, but you're going to keep, fluid's going to keep coming out. There's nothing you can do about that until you get the plug back on. And I'm going to do just that. I'm going to wipe that off and put the plug back in. Okay, we got the fuel plug back in. Like I said, I wiped that off. Of course, fluid kept running out of that, and it's okay. Don't get your drawers in a knot because fluid keeps running out. That's okay. You wipe that off, put the plug back in. When you get the plug, a couple turns in, the fluid will stop at that point. But just go ahead and tighten your plug up, just like I told you on this one. As soon as it makes contact, bump the ratchet up a couple times. You don't want it excessively tight. You just want it snug so it doesn't leak. Because it has no pressure other than holding fluid inside of it. That's all it does. Then you wipe off all your excess fluid that drained down here, that drained off the skid plate. And just wipe it up so you got a major mess going on. Now that wasn't so hard, was it? Pretty simple actually. You just got a drain plug and a fill plug. That's all you got to deal with. Take out the drain plug, let it drain until your fluid's going to like a drip, drip, drip. Good enough. Wipe off the drain plug, the washer seat right there, wipe it off. Wipe off where the washer seat contacts the transfer case. Be sure there's no debris because you don't want to snug it up and end up with a leak because you left some trash behind. Then you take out the fill plug. Before you take out the fill plug, go around it. Be sure there's no loose debris or anything that's going to fall in when you take the plug out because you don't want any junk inside the transfer case. Take out the plug. Wipe off around it. Be sure you're not going to knock anything else into it. Fill it up. Take out a little nozzle thingy that comes on like the gear oils or the Lucas bottles or whatever. Put that on your fluid bottle, on your automatic transmission fluid bottle. Airplane. Boss, the plane. Man, I just showed my age, didn't I? Anyway. Yeah, sorry, totally out of character here. Anyway, put the little nozzle on there. Squeeze the fluid into it. Then fill it up till it runs out. Basically, you end up with a quart and a half or so fluid into it. When you see it running, not just because you didn't get it in it just right, but it starts running out to the point that it's totally running out. So then you take and put your drain plug back in, wipe off around it, put your drain plug in, then wipe up all your excess crap that drained down the transfer case onto the skid plate. I mean, you're done. It's pretty simple. So if you like my video, give me a thumbs up, please. And if you like my channel, if you haven't subscribed, please do. And really appreciate everything, all the comments you guys leave. Really cool. So be sure to check out my website because this video will be attached to my website, which is www.fixjeeps.com. And I'm going to have lots of other good information on there. Downloadable charts, conversion charts. Go check it out. You never know what I'm going to put on there next. So everyone, with that being said, again, I appreciate everything you guys do for the comments. Really cool. Gives me inspiration to do this. I can't say it. So, I don't know. What's most important than everything? Everyone, have a great day. Peace out. See y'all.